Hello, good evening. It's Helen, Authentic Discovery. In all honesty, um, it's been quite strange. I've found myself both in the depths and in the heights of my life. So yeah, I find it quite an interesting week. In terms of what's going on with the viruses and this, that, and everything else. I just find it like almost as if we're in a surreal world, which I don't quite understand. But I realise that not everything is for me to understand. My position in my life, as with all of us, is how we respond to the not knowing and not knowing. I think one of the things that I've very much been reminded is that we never know. In all fairness, no one ever knows the future. We live our lives in hope. We plan, we prepare. I don't think anything. Well, it depends on your perspective whether you feel that we've been prepared for this. Perhaps not how it's happened, but we. I think a lot of people were prepared for something. If you believe in biblical prophecy, or even just the history and what's been happening. This plus this equals that. But in reality, we all, every single day of our lives, don't know what the next moment holds, much less the next year or two. As I say, we plan and prepare. So I've found it quite interesting. One of the things that has perplexed me is that, I read and I see that there is a need for professionals to be available to support people, and my own business just it seems to be faltering. And I kind of came to the realization, and it was a realization of my life also, that I have been a square peg trying to fit into a round hole. I don't feel the look of the success that I want. So I've been in my working life in the corporate world. So I do know the world, but I mean, I always knew I would never really reach heady heights in that, because I'm far too opinionated, and I don't tend, I question quite a lot. I'm definitely someone, I do believe in collaboration, not competition. And I think that we can live in harmony with our planet and with each other. There's no need for this cutthroatness that sort of seems to be the corporate world, and the charitable third sector is even more so cutthroat. I've learned about that too. But even from early beginnings, square peg, round hole, born into the wrong color, the wrong sex, the wrong, just constantly sort of always excluded, which has carried on. I've done training. One of the most fascinating things I've ever done, I think, was, well, it's not one of the most fascinating things, but I was doing a mental health awareness course. I was participating on it, not delivering it. And we all went for lunch, the whole group, and I sat down. And this has happened to me a few times in training courses. I sat down, and everybody just sort of avoided me. And I just thought, wow, okay, I'm quite a resilient person, but it was that idea that, like I don't feel that I exclude myself, and I don't think anybody's being malicious with me. It's obviously me. So, I am the square peg trying to fit into a round hole. And I kind of came to the conclusion that I've had enough of trying to fit in. I don't, not that there are those that say, Helen, you didn't try very hard. Um, that may be true, it may not be true. That level of acceptance, that validation that I belong. Adler. Always, said that man basically wants to belong, and mankind, that is, and as I'm part of mankind, I totally understand that desire to belong, to find your tribe, to find the people that you resonate with. And apparently that's what I need to do for my marketing, is to find the people that resonate with me. But most of the people I know that resonate with me uh, maybe they just don't need what I do. I am the wounded healer. I definitely needed healing when I went looking for my to train and to go into mental health, therapeutic work. I'm a drama therapist, creative arts therapist. I love drama. I love the arts. So it's I yeah. So that's what's been with me for the last few days is that I am a square peg trying to get into a round hole, and I don't really want to go into a round hole. Yeah, so maybe I haven't tried that hard to fit in. Or I was talking yesterday. I had quite an emotion. I think it was yesterday. I had quite an emotional day, and my son was like talking to my son. He was like, "Well," and I was like, I really want to help people. I really want to offer my services. And he goes, "Why do you want other people to validate you?" And I didn't. I was like, well, that's not what I was doing it for. But maybe there was an element still of trying to prove that I was worthy, that I was good enough for all of my learning and the work that I've done on myself. It always kind of throws me that all these years later, there's still elements of it, and I'm still peeling back the layers of fully accepting and not so much. No, I do fully accept myself. I do. I genuinely do. I'm as surprised as everybody else as well with some of the stuff that comes out of my mouth and some of the stuff that I do. But I accept that about myself. I do love myself and accept all that I have been, all that I am, and I look forward to embracing all that I will be. But so there is an element of external validation in that wanting to help, in that wanting to help others to get to a point where they are comfortable with themselves. But that is, I am a life in progress, and I suppose I don't know whether I will ever reach that point where I don't want to help because I like helping. It feels a need, and I'm not going to deny that at all. I don't believe it's a validation need because I no longer look for permission to live my life. Your permission is neither requested or required. Your opinion on how I live my life, neither requested nor required. And my opinion on how you live your life is not required, or I'm hoping you don't request it. We all have, well, most of us have an innate sense of right and wrong, and what and I think it's the do no harm, but we don't live in a world where people do no harm. So I flit, and well, I don't flit, I kind of move gracefully. I've got to laugh at that because probably more like Nelly the elephant. Through being an activist and a warrior and a fighter for freedom and rights, to an absolute vessel of love and and kindness to humanity. So you can find me in any one of those. Maybe there is in my own head, there's a conflict there that one can't be with the other, but that is so not true. A peaceful revolution is what I'm after. The systems that are not working correctly, um, and they're definitely not working for the masses. And the masses, like my post today on Instagram was choice. Did we forget that we have a choice? If no matter what background you're from, you have a choice. We might not like the choices. The earth was made for man and the fullness thereof. So, what right does another man or woman or anyone else have the right to come and tell you how you can live your life? As far as I'm concerned, if you're a consenting adult, and that is the key, a consenting adult, you can do whatever you want. You can live your life however you want, as long as you're not hurting anybody else or inflicting your you on someone else. Um, One of the things that has hurt me this week is that it's been ruminating around in my head about children predominantly. and adults, having been someone that was once in a violent relationship and having grown up in a violent, with parents and things that were violent. um, People that are enforced right now to live with their abusers, to stay in the house with their abusers, children with whether it's violence, sexual, psychological, that they have no outlet right now. They have nowhere to go to feel safe. That is absolutely breaking my heart. And I kind of had it ruminating around in my head, and I hadn't really wanted to give it much thought. And it was brought to my attention recently, and I'm finding that difficult. That's why I just don't agree with the lockdown. There's no part of me that thinks that we should all be locked down at all, and the fact that the whole world's locked down, I don't agree with it. I'm doing it, and I'm living. I'm following the guidelines, but I do not agree with it. There are women and men who are living with their abusers right now, with no outlet, nowhere to go. I think I spoke before about the long-term effects of solitary confinement, and we are going to see an increase in PTSD. There are already increases in phone lines, predominantly children who are being abused, and this is just not right. And I'm here to help. I'm here to do whatever I can to help and to alleviate. So, yeah, my musings this week. I mean, I might. I don't know if I'm coming across as being flat. I don't intend to be at all. But I think I'm more mellow than flat. And the longer this goes on, the more damage that will be done to people. Um, I live in a bubble. I mean, I don't know if you can hear the birds singing in the background. And I've got a beautiful view. I've got birds singing in the background. I am still working because I work. I do have a part-time job, which is considered essential, working with vulnerable adults. But so my life hasn't changed much, in all fairness. But I really would like to assist, and not to as a sense of validation. Just that if my history is anything to go by, I know I can make a difference in people's lives for the better, for the positive. Don't live with me, but I can definitely help. I can definitely aid. Join me tomorrow night for the mindfulness and meditation sessions that I do at 7 o'clock. Um, yeah. So my midweek musings this week, I'm not really sure what I've just said or what I've gone through. I don't need your permission. I don't need your validation. I don't need it at all. It's nice to have it though, isn't it? That's the thing. It's nice to know that you make a difference. And I know that I've made a difference in lives in the past. That's one of the things my son says. He was sort of talking, and he was like, "You're spreading it so wide, Mum. You want the world to you want to work with the world." And I do. I genuinely want peace upon this planet for the whole world. He says, "Why don't you look at what you've already done closer to home? He says, bring it in and stop thinking that you haven't made a difference, because if you bring it in, you have." So that was nice. That was really good to hear that, and to have that acknowledgement more than validation. I've done. I take. I've been doing some extra learning. The body that I'm associated with, that I'm accredited, like my professional association requires that even though I deliver online training, that I actually have a certain amount of hours of training in delivering online therapy. So I started that, but I've been doing chakra dance. I am loving that, absolutely loving that. I did the online training thing because I had to. I didn't have to, but for to keep my professional accreditation and a professional association. But I did, and I'm loving the chakra dance, and I'm going to do some basic EFT work as well, because I know that there is more to this world than what we see. I know that vibration and sound make a difference, and that love truly is the answer. And the meditation tomorrow night will be loving meditation. It will be about expanding, connecting, and expanding our love within ourselves and for the planet. So anyway, yeah, I've been musing along as I do. I wish you well. I truly do. I wish you peace. Know that you're loved. Know that you are loved purely because you exist, and that's the reason that I love you, because you exist. Um, it's as simple as that. I love the trees. I love the flowers. I love the birds. I love the animals. I love creation. We're amazing. And oh gosh, I'd love to live in a world where I can literally just look and adore humanity the way that I can look and adore the animals and the trees and the flowers, without people thinking, oh, what's wrong? What are you looking at? And getting all yuck yuck. So yeah, I love watching people, miss that. Miss sitting down having a coffee just anywhere and watching the world go by and watching people and all their shapes and sizes and nuances and differences, and yet we're all the same. We're all the same. So I wish you well. Be mindful, be careful, be grateful, be kind. I really should do a musing on gratitude. I have a 5-day how to create an attitude of gratitude. It's a challenge, and I can't express how much gratitude changes your life completely and utterly changes your life. It really does. So love, peace. How do I do this now? Oh yeah, there it is.